Xbox just announced laying off over 2,000 employees, and yes, Bethesda Game Studios, id Software, and Arcane Austin are affected. Bethesda Game Studios itself, the people that work on The Elder Scrolls 6, the people that are working on Starfield, the people that are probably working on Fallout 76 and Fallout 5, have 35 job losses today. id Software is losing about half of their staff, which is mostly coders, and then the most incoherent aspect of it is that those coders are literally working on one of the best engines in gaming. id Tech has literally managed to run and be the most well optimized and one of the most gorgeous game engines to ever grace our hands and the earth. And Microsoft thought it was a good idea to shut that down and shut half of that down, which I think is very stupid. And they're also looking into selling off Arcane Austin and just completely removing them entirely to a different publisher, but they had to wait until today because of French laws until they could actually start with talks. Now, Bethesda Game Studios in general is also getting a complete reset of how they work. They're going to be focusing on Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, Wolfenstein, Doom, and I think there was one more game, but realistically, it's Fallout and Elder Scrolls that we all care about, okay? These are the games that need that focus. Microsoft is also pushing into things like Halo, they're pushing into things like hopefully Fable and Gears. They want those big franchises to be front and center, while unfortunately those smaller AA size studios, look, they can go out on their own, we're not going to shut them down entirely, but that can't be the focus anymore, especially with a gaming conglomerate that Microsoft is. They recognize that games like Minecraft and Candy Crush are those top games. They want 15 different Candy Crushes. They want Fallout to be a Candy Crush. They want the Elder Scrolls to be a Candy Crush, not in the way of like mobile games microtransactions, but in a way of accruing billions of players a year. Just billions of people picking them up. And with the success of the Fallout TV show, with the success of The Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76, and hopefully they can get more investment into that, these franchises need huge cash injections and huge developer support. So I'm personally expecting maybe new developer hirings, or they're just going to be allocating a lot more people to focus on these franchises, or even better, they might be allocating entire other studios on these franchises. We saw by Jez Corden a few days ago, I'm pretty sure, that some Activision studios might be even working on Halo, because holy shit, that needs to be a whole other video. But Halo is just, they can't seem to get their shit together. But this could really mean that, unfortunately enough, Obsidian did also hit a 25% staff reduction, but honestly, they've kind of been bloated recently. I wouldn't be surprised, and they kind of fucking deserve it after Avowed and The Outer Worlds 2. Those games were just not that good. The actual people who have worked on Fallout New Vegas, yes, those people like Josh Sawyer, Tim Kaine, unfortunately not Chris Avellone, he doesn't work at Obsidian, but he could come back for Fallout New Vegas 2. We could see a Fallout New Vegas 2, which I think would be one of the greatest comeback stories for not only a franchise, but for gaming studios in general. Imagine Obsidian next year or the year after, like, hey guys, we have the Fallout IP, we're working on another Fallout game. Bro, everyone would lose their fucking collective minds. This would be as big as The Elder Scrolls 6, because we know that Fallout New Vegas might not be the most commercially successful Fallout game, but it definitely is the most critically loved by the hardcore fan base, and myself and others don't shut the fuck up about it, even though I disagree with a lot of things New Vegas fanboys say. I can admit, look, yes, it is the best game narratively, it does have some of the strongest writing in the franchise, and we need, honestly, to see more investments into a Fallout New Vegas 2. We need to see more proper, actual investments into games, even like Fallout 76. You're telling me this is a game with over 25 million players, and you guys aren't investing it to make sure that it's actually this online MMO that it really could be? We could have factions, we could have bigger map expansions, we should have monthly, realistically, maybe even quarterly, or every 6 months, story expansions. Not these fucking small updates that are like, hey, I know, look guys, there's like a little mini boss that you can go kill in 8 seconds. Like, go play that. Go play that for 6 months while we work on the next season. Like, that is a waste of time, that is a waste of resources, and realistically, so much more needs to be allocated towards these franchises. And realistically as well, I know Asha Sharma is taking a look at Bethesda and saying, these franchises are billion-dollar franchises. When we release these games, consoles are going to sell. When we release these games, units are going to get moved. And she sees how The Elder Scrolls 6 has been in development, or at least since announced, since 2018. We are nearing 10 years without any gameplay, without another trailer, without anything. This is a longer wait than GTA 5 to GTA 6. I need to make that clear. GTA 6 is coming out later this year. That is a 13-year wait. At this rate, we're going to have a longer wait between the fucking announcement of The Elder Scrolls 6 and the release. since GTA 5 and GTA 6. And the announcement for GTA 6 was in 2023. That is a 3-year fucking wait. We are pushing a decade since the announcement. And I know Bethesda announced it just to get people excited, saying, hey, look, we're still focusing on single player games, even though we have Starfield down the pipeline, even though we have Fallout 76 coming up. It was mainly for investors to try to garner as much support for the studio as possible. But we need these games out like within the next 2 fucking years. This shit needs to be allocated so fucking hard. I want to see Elder Scrolls 6 gameplay next fucking year. I want to see some mind-blowing ass RPG mechanics. I want to see hardcore mechanics that actually cater to the Elder Scrolls fan base, not to fucking random people who just come in and play RPGs, even though, yes, I know Bethesda could see that as, look, we want everyone to want to play the game. Trust me, if Baldur's Gate 3 and fucking Elden Ring can sell tens of millions of copies, the Elder Scrolls 6 could sell tens or even possibly hundreds, if it got that high, of millions of copies if they actually catered to a solid fucking gaming experience with awesome RPG mechanics, great writing, great story, great combat, and just focus on what makes Bethesda games awesome, is that exploration and is that combat. Because personally for me, one of the best things about Bethesda games is getting lost in their worlds, man. Fallout 76, shut it on all you want, in my opinion, is Bethesda's best created map. It has the most variety in its enemies, it has the most variety in its locations, and it is honestly an awesome game to explore and just look around and find all of the different things that you can find. So many different fucking, like, just everything. Everything about Fallout 76's map is awesome. And they continue that with their map expansions. But again, the investment needs to be there. We need proper investment in Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online. And unfortunately enough, they also laid off employees from the Elder Scrolls Online studio, ZeniMax Online, which doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, this studio has been butchered, right? Like, less than 2 years ago, they canceled ESO's, or, like, not ESO, they canceled ZeniMax Online's other live service title, which Phil Spencer apparently fucking loved in playtests. So you hype those people up and then they got the game fucking canned. And now the studio that's only been working on Elder Scrolls Online, mind you, the only fucking project that is keeping any sorts of Elder Scrolls revenue coming in, at least concurrently through a live service game, is now cutting support. Like, what were these people doing? Were they sitting around on their asses? Because that's the only reason I could see this make sense. Shutting down and closing jobs for a game that is actively making you money doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. Especially considering Fallout 76 is arguably in a worse state than the Elder Scrolls Online, arguably probably makes less money, and to my knowledge so far, hasn't received any cuts. Not saying that they deserve cuts, but I'm saying, like, guys, either reinvest into it more or just leave the studio. Why are we cutting development teams and development pipelines here for these studios that have been producing mass DLC for your games? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's the same shit as when Microsoft is cutting off Undead Labs. Why are they cutting off a live service game? Or, like, not even cutting it off, but they're going to sell it off or make them independent? It's like, guys, what are you doing? Because I guarantee you, Undead Labs' State of Decay 3 is going to be a 10, 20, 30 million player game. Fucking zombie survival games, I understand a lot of people have a lot of fatigue from them, but when was the last zombie survival game that was actually really good? Like, let's be honest here. It's been a fucking while. People love the zombie genre. I love the survival genre. That game's going to be awesome, and it blows my mind that Microsoft is so willing to shut down support for games that will be easy wins. Especially even shutting down support, I'm so sorry, I'm getting on a fucking tangent. Support for games from IO Interactive. Like, why are you not supporting their next project? What was it, fantasy game? Like, the live service fantasy game they wanted to make? What are you doing? What are you doing? But honestly, again, if this all comes down, like, if they stop support for State of Decay, if they stop support for all these other games, and all that money goes to the Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5, I will give y'all a pass. I'll be, alright, you know what, y'all got a point. If I see Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5 faster than I would have if you released these other games under your portfolio, because they didn't even shut any studios down, realistically. They just laid people off and are just making studios go independent or sell them to other publishers. But, like, if this means I get those games faster, I'm so fucking fine with that, honestly. I want to see Fallout 5 before I turn 30. That would be great, because I played Fallout 4 when I was 13. I would like to not have to wait double my lifespan to fucking play a video game, bro. Like, you know how long I waited and I was excited for Cyberpunk and enjoy this gameplay you're watching? Like, Cyberpunk took so long, and I was thoroughly disappointed with that launch, but I'm playing it now. It's a lot of fun. GTA 6 feels even fucking longer. Can't believe we're finally getting that game. But Fallout 5 is, like, for me, that next big game. And I would like to see it before I'm 30. Like, I'm gonna be so fucking honest here. I'd like to see it, bro. I don't want to die. I don't want to be, like, you know, getting in an unlucky car crash and could never play Fallout 5. Like, look, if I die, just fucking don't release the game. I don't even want to see anyone else play it, because fuck you guys.